So this is our demonstration for our LoRa-based communication system for small fishing vessels. So for this, we have developed an infrastructure which has a LoRa gateway, a gateway rerouter, and LoRa end node, which will be placed on a fishing vessel, a web server for monitoring our fishing vessels, and a mobile app which will be used by our fishermen. Right. So this was developed to allow fishermen to communicate without the use of mobile data over long ranges. So if you are going to move on to the main features that we'll be providing our fishermen first, we have our main feature, which would trigger an distress signal or an SOS to onshore onlookers or gateways. So if we would test that, it would take maybe a second. Yeah, SOS has been sent. Now it's going to be transmitted through our end node to our gateway, and then finally received by our web server, which you just heard. So right, if you were to look, the time now is 9:05 and we have received said SOS. All right. Now, we're going to move on to the second feature, which is our chat feature, which we could send a message to our onshore onlookers. So we've sent that we are low on fuel already. So let's try maybe sending an en route message, which you can check the numbers and what they stand for, en route to location message. So we can send that en route to location has been sent. Now, if we were to check on our side of our onshore, the message will be received in time. Yeah, as you can see, en route to location by our vessel. Now, it works both ways. We can also send a message from shore to our vessel as well. So weather conditions worsening, and we're going to send it. As you can see, that has been updated as well. And this is all without the use of mobile data, using just LoRa for transferring packets. Now, the next feature that we'll be talking about is our weather feature. We can view the weather in our location as well as 3 other hotspots. So we can assess that. Already received our hotspot data. We might have to refresh the weather and view the different hotspot weathers that we can see as well. Alright, as you can see, the weather is loaded and we can see our current weathers as well. So moving on to the hotspot feature, we can now view hotspots close by to our geometric location, and we can also navigate to them, and that would update on our hotspot servers and ensure that each hotspot is not overly congested. Yeah. As you can see, now the hotspots have loaded in, and now we can choose to navigate to one of them. Yeah. We can click close to a vessel, like a hotspot, and we can choose to navigate to it. And now we begin navigation, and this vessel is now linked to that hotspot on our servers, and that is tracked in real time through LoRa. Right. Moving on, I can also cancel navigation and reload the hotspots and begin another journey as well if needed. Right. Now moving on to the features on side of our web server. We have tracking enabled to track the geometric locations of vessels. Right now, most of our data is inland because that's where we've tested it. We haven't used dummy data. And we can also track our gateways, our hotspots, and our zones, which we have implemented as danger or normal. Danger zones are we've emulated through SOS data. As well, we can navigate our hotspots and our gateways that we have deployed as well. The hotspots can also be seen on the map as these red dots. Right. We can also track the routes of our vessels. For example, on February, we can check the route of this particular vessel. Yeah, for example, they have moved as such. And then on the 3rd as well. This is all demo data, but yeah. Alright, then we can also view any gateways we have in commission, their status, whether they are available or not, the weather in where they are, etc. And then finally, we have our data pipeline, which allows us to check if our network in a particular gateway is working as we expect it to. For example, we can send a packet, see if it's encrypted or not, and then run a test. As you can see, this particular packet has gone through our gateways and then returned, and the encryption has worked as intended. All right, and we can also view our users as well as the database of all our messages that we've stored currently. They can be added and they will be updated on the mobile and the web server. All right, that is our demonstration. Thank you.